Everybody, good morning. Good morning. This is James Zheng here. Welcome to Daily Wisdom. And this is where we spend 10, 15 minutes to be able to apply some daily principles into your life to be able to help you to achieve breakthroughs in your life, right? I think wisdom, knowledge is one thing, but implementation is another thing. And that's what I want to be able to help you guys to be able to do. And today we're going to be discussing something I think I need. So I hope it could help you as well too. But how do you break through your fear? How do you break through the things that we all know that are holding us back? How do we break through the barriers for sure and be able to run and bulldoze right through those walls that we know are holding all of us back, but we want more and more and more. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, share this, like this, tag someone in this. Also, we put these on YouTube as well, so feel free to subscribe to that. And hello to everybody. And I want to let you know we have actually a Zoom room here as well. You're more than welcome to join. So if you want to be a part of that, just ask the friend that you saw this live on, and they can give you that Zoom link as well too. But I want to give a quick shout out. I see my good friends here, Angie and my wife and Christina and Annette and Stacy, Diane, Joshua, Marla, Pam. We got people representing from Anchorage and NorCal and Florida, and great to see everyone from everywhere. I see Joe actually here. That's out in South Africa. So great to see you guys. Okay. But if we could be real with each other, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever had a barrier hold you back and you struggle with that barrier. It keeps on coming up, right? It's like the same habits go over and over and over again, right? The same challenges appear over and over and all again, and it's frustrating because that barrier, what happens. It keeps on happening, right? Maybe it's you when you go for a new goal and you're excited about it, and then all of a sudden challenge comes and then you break down. Maybe it's something with you in your relationship that when there is something, whether it's a romantic relationship or a family relationship or a friend relationship or just people relationship, maybe there's a situation that happens, when you're kind of on edge and there's just that one little snap that happens. And I appreciate the transparency on this, right? This is a call for real people going through real stuff, and how do we break through these things? Maybe it's a little situation that just gets you to snap. And then it's like, dang it, why'd I do that again? I told myself I wouldn't do that again. Maybe for some of us, it deals with food, to be honest, especially holidays. This is when we think about that a lot. And you shouldn't touch that cheesecake. You shouldn't touch that extra bread. You shouldn't touch that extra thing and take that extra bite, that leads some more bites. Or, you shouldn't open up the fridge when it's, yeah, I'm super guilty with food a lot of times too. You open up the fridge. Maybe this, I don't know, is this just a guy thing? When I'm bored, does anyone else actually go up to the fridge and randomly open it up, imagining that different food will appear in the fridge? Does anyone else do that, or is that just me? You do. I do that like all the time. I don't know why. It's the same fridge, right? The same stuff. But all of us, however big or small, we have barriers and stare. Yes, exactly. It's like I'm trying to manifest something different into that fridge, like I'm trying to teleport something, or it doesn't work that way, right? But all of us have these annoying barriers that happen with us in our lives that hold us back. Imagination is key, exactly, right? That are really, really painful. And the painful ones are the ones that you are aware to, but that we need to be able to change them. So today I want to talk about why that happens. And I also want to talk about how you can break free from them. In fact, this is one of my favorite topics because I deal with it personally. Okay. And I'll share with you a personal story as early as yesterday. Yesterday was a late night or an early morning. And it was one of those mornings that I hit a barrier again in my marriage. And what happened was, well, I wasn't being the loving husband that I'm supposed to be, that after many, many, many years, I've been married now for 7+ years. I say that it should be, right? And I'm naturally the type of person, and in relationship, people love in different ways. I'm the type that I'm kind of just like, I'm not the most affectionate person, and I know that. But you know what happened? Things get busy and challenges come up and barriers come up. And all of a sudden there's some neglect that's going on, to be honest. And what happened is we had a situation yesterday and my wife was deeply hurt, deeply hurt. It was a bad, bad night. And I think to myself this, I've been through this for the last 5+ years. I've been through many situations like this. And I found myself as I'm sitting in the bed and I'm just thinking, why is this happening again? Why is this happening again? I know better. And maybe you've been challenged with that, right? I know better. Why don't I do it? How do I break through this barrier? Oh my gosh. And the solution is actually pretty simple. And it's to understand how your mind works. So if we understand, we have a conscious mind, and then we have a subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the part that you can control. The conscious mind is the one that you can think. The conscious mind is the one that you want to be. So for example, your conscious mind, you imagine yourself as that person that's broken through this barrier that you have in your finances, in your businesses, in your lives, in your relationships. You've imagined breakthrough. You know you want to be at that place. You know what to do. I know I should be loving. I know I should be affectionate. I know I should be those different things. You know, that's awesome, Joshua. Yeah. You know, it's amazing how relationships work like that. But our subconscious is the thing, and subconscious are the things that we don't think about. They're the things that are actually on automated. The 95+% of our mind is subconscious. Did you know that we think 60,000 plus thoughts a day? And did you know over 95% of them are subconscious? You don't even think about them. Your heart's beating on a subconscious type of thing. You're breathing, unless I make you aware to it. You're breathing, and that's a subconscious thing as well too. Most of our behaviors in our life are dictated not by what we're actually thinking about. It's dictated by who we are, our habits and everything. So what happens is this, is as we're consciously striving to make breakthroughs in the areas that we want to make breakthrough in, we are in a battle. And the battle is us versus our subconscious, us versus who it is that we've been and who we are. And what happens is every single time you will meet with, Bob Proctor calls this the terror barrier. And the terror barrier is when you finally get to that situation when you have a battle and a tension between who you want to be and who you actually are at the moment. And because you have not yet made the shift, there's all types of haywireness that goes on in this change. I call it mental puberty. You guys remember puberty? Who here was awkward in your puberty years? I was. My voice was cracking. It was all different types of things and everything, right? So this is the part that all of us tend to, if we're not aware to it, we go back. Or we definitely go back. And I'll give you an example just personally on this. Is before, I remember early in my relationship, prior to understanding how this worked, when this type of a situation happened. Who was it, right? Yeah. When this type of a situation happened, what happened before was I would honestly then say to myself, and maybe you're like this, is anyone else their own worst critic? You know how to talk so bad to yourself, it's ridiculous. You know, you would never talk to anyone else the way that you talk to yourself. And here I am, and let's say I would make my wife cry and I'd not be affectionate, and it would just be horrible. And I'd be saying to myself, you piece of crap, you're a piece of scum, you're the worst husband in the planet, you know better, this is never going to change, blah, blah, blah. You know these voices, right? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it just tears you down. You're like, you're never going to break through. See what happened? There it is again. And the cycle is very tortuous. But when you understand that there's a conscious mind, you had to change your voice, good, right? And then there's a subconscious mind, and you understand that there's a process to this, and there's a way to actually change the subconscious mind. There's a way to change how you view yourself. There's a way to break through these challenges. Then you have freedom. So this is now how you can encounter those. And this is what I did, right? And good news, broken through, right? Things are cool. And this is what happens. The way to break through in these barriers and challenges, so I want us all to think about the barriers that you know that you're facing in your businesses, your lives, your finances, your relationships, whatever that it is to understand the way to break through when you get to these barriers is number one, it's an awareness. You have to be aware of what's going on. And I want us all to realize that when you face those inevitable challenges, you face what Bob Proctor calls a terror barrier. When you face that, what you're really facing is this. Just say to yourself, okay, I'm not horrible. Okay, it's okay, I get it. But it's only because I have not yet reprogrammed my subconscious. I'm dealing with my old self right now. I have not yet made that shift, but I'm on my way. The only reason why you're going through the challenge is because you're on your way. So number one is awareness to it. You're not broken. You're not ever going to never change. It's just a normal process of breakthrough. You can even just say to yourself next time, just to kick yourself out of it, I'm going through mental puberty. I'm going through mental puberty right now in this area of my life. And just kind of laugh at yourself. And then from there, what you do is, number two, take inspired action. Take inspired action so that you can shift towards that new self that you want to be. So number one is awareness. And number two is action. You have to make changes, right? So let's say you went through that breakdown. Let's say you went through that barrier. Let's say you went through that challenge. Let's say you went through that fear and you're like, okay, that took me down, but this time what I'm going to do, instead of regressing, the worst thing to do is to recede. The best thing to do is to double down back in that direction. And the only way to break through these barriers is inspired action over the course of time. It's repetition. You're kind of hammering down the old brick wall of who you were before as you're breaking through. Can you imagine that? You're literally breaking through this brick wall to get to the other side of who you know you can be. If you can imagine yourself being someone different, that means it's possible. Okay? It's not there for no reason. So take inspired action. The next time you're belittling yourself, no guilt, no shame, battle through that and double down towards that direction. In your business, the next time you feel like, man, I'm short of my goals and I'm regressing, double down and go towards that fear. The next time in your relationships, there's a situation, instead of acting out of fear, act out of love and double down on that as well too. And what happens is this, is when you continue to take that inspired action, even in the midst of discomfort, even in the midst of mental puberty, even in the midst of the fear, you give it some time, over and over and over and over again. There comes a day when once and for all, you will realize that that old voice that was taking you down, you don't hear it anymore. It shuts down. It's quiet. And all you can hear is the new voice. We call that freedom. And that means that you've totally reprogrammed your subconscious. That means you've totally reprogrammed your self-image. And that day is when the day that I want for every single person here. That is breakthrough. And it's possible because this is law. This is science. This is how it works. So as I go through my marriage, what I did this, obviously I asked for forgiveness, all that. And we always end our nights with, forgiving each other and all that. But this early morning, I was just praying and meditating. And I'm just like, what do I need to do to do inspired action? I was journaling, right? I'm going to double down on this. I'm going to be a better husband. I'm going to reorient my priorities. I'm going to make sure that I'm more loving. I'm going to make sure that I actually do this the right way. I'm putting in like fail safes. I'm doing something different and I'm committed to doing double down to love my wife the way that she deserves to be loved. And the same thing for each and every single one of us here. In those things that we need to have breakthrough with, then what are the things that we need to double down on as well too? You're capable of change. So I just want to give you some more faith in that and encouragement in that. And I think it's so important because each and every single one of us, these are the things that we're always going to go through life. And that's the joy and the fun in life. That's what growth is all about. So I hope that's encouraging to you today. We're all capable of change. Absolutely. Right. Put me in the chat if you know something that you want to break through in, that this is going to be able to help to, And if this was helpful, share this with someone, tag someone in this, subscribe to this and everything. Just know we're all on this journey together of becoming the best versions of ourselves, and I appreciate those comments and everything. And I hope that this has encouraged you, and let's continue to break through together. So we do this daily wisdom every day, Monday through Friday. If you want to be a part of this, once again, shout out to all of our Zoomers. Feel free to ask them for the link as well too. But other than that, let's have an amazing day. I'm praying for breakthrough for you and all the challenges you have and everything. And just know that we're all walking through these things together and it's all good. It's all right. You got it. All right, everyone. But hey, have a great rest of your day. So appreciate you guys. And I can't wait to hear your guys' breakthroughs as well, too. All right.